Well, slowly but surely, things are starting to return to normal. People are getting out more, they're socializing, maybe going to dinner, even some shopping. But for many of us, the pandemic has brought about change, and for some, that change has actually been a good thing. Here to explain and help us navigate the normal is Dr. Heather Cook, founder of Connect with Cook. I've been connecting with you for a while today. We've just been like this, chatty Cathy's, aren't we?
Yeah, but that's good. We need to have time for that.
Oh, it is nice. It's great to see people in person.
Yes.
But a lot has come out of this last year, and I think people have really refocused and pivot and changed their priorities.
Well, let's hope so, because we're now being teased by all the new things that are starting to open up, the new gatherings we can do, the new opportunities. And so I would say, are we rushing back to what we thought we've missed, or are we really reflecting and changing those priorities? And I think that we get teased so often that we're like, oh, well, I can't miss that. I can't miss that. I have to participate in that. My kids did this. We need to go back to doing that. You know, and it kind of consumes you at times.
And before we know it, we're back to the craziness that we were before, and we had kind of navigated that chaos, and it was nice to take a breath.
It was, and we took a lot of breaths, probably more breath than we wanted to take last year. But can we be mindful of those pockets of time that we really dedicated to ourselves and were intentional? And it was because we didn't have those moments and didn't have those opportunities, so we were forced to have those moments, and now it's going to be a choice versus being forced to do it. And it'll be different. It'll be interesting to see how we respond to that.
And you have been celebrating women throughout the month and love what you've been doing. And you found someone in particular that you're really pulling a lot of insight from.
Sure. There's a lady named Tanya Dalton. She lives in Asheville just down the road, and she wrote a best-selling book called JOMO. Any idea?
Oh, joy. I remember joy.
So we are familiar with FOMO, the fear of missing out, and we're just so worried that we may not capitalize on every opportunity. But JOMO is the joy of missing out. And it's really about being intentional and planning your life to where you get what you really, really want out of it, not to just say that you're busy. It's more intentional than that.
Well, and I think so many times we're doing things to please others.
Yes.
So it's almost, you're just afraid to say no because you don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, and they're all counting on you to be there, so you really should go.
Well, she has a great thing about saying no. For everything you want to say yes for, what are you going to say no to? And that's how you're able to keep making momentum and moving forward with a stress, well, not stress-free, but less stress in your life. And so if you're going to say yes to something, what are we then going to say, no, I can't do this any longer? But that's not what we typically do. We typically go, yeah, okay, I can squeeze that into my life. And we keep squeezing to the point that we've left nothing for ourselves. And that's what we usually talk about, is like self-care and how do we help ourselves. And if we keep saying yes, and if now that those opportunities are back and it's our choice to say yes to everything, are we going to do it? And then will we have any room left for ourselves?
So what about balance? Is it saying yes and saying no?
Well, it's interesting. So Tanya shares that balance is not what you want, because once you achieve balance, you're standing still. So how do you, choose the things in your life that are going to propel you and move you forward? So it's more about what actions can I take that are what I need versus what others need. And you hit the nail on the head. It's really about not saying no and being that people pleaser. And I'm a sucker for a people pleaser. I want to make people happy. It's kind of a natural tendency I think women have. And as we celebrate Women this month, we want to lift people up and let them. It's okay to say no. It's okay. It's
so we can be a little bit selfish, just this much.
Well, if you're not selfish to some degree, you're actually not offering the true you to other people because you don't have it in you. You don't have enough steam left.
I know. Sometimes we just run out of steam.
I know.
And I find that, too, if we are making the decision based on what we want, when we actually go to do it, we do find the joy. Because it's something we really wanted to do versus putting in an appearance. How many times do we say that? I got to put in an appearance.
Yes.
I just got to go, and we'll say hello, and we'll do this, and we'll drop it off, and then we can go home and go back to what we want to do.
Absolutely. I think if we could be mindful before we head into a project or an event or a thing we've said yes to, what is our energy level? If you can be mindful of that as you head into it, then that gives you kind of a good assessment of like, do I really want to be doing this? And am I providing the value I know I can? Because I don't really want to be there. And if you can figure out how to say no to that, then you're going to say yes in a very big way over here where it really matters.
That's just very powerful.
Yeah.
I love that we are connecting in this way, but you're absolutely right. As things reopen, I think people will be a little bit more cautious and maybe take some baby steps.
Let's hope so.
Instead of just jumping in. I know I am. When it comes to certain things that, there's going to be a lot of people, and I feel like, part of me is like ready, but part of me is a little nervous about getting back out there.
Well, I'm trying to challenge myself to look at my week at least 1 week in advance. Because in the past, it was just so, okay, I've got to run to this, run to that, run to this, run to that. And then, okay, sure, this last minute thing, I'll squeeze it in. I'm trying to be really mindful of, okay, here's my week, and I'm not doing anything on Wednesday.
Wednesdays.
No matter what, I'm not doing anything on Wednesday. Or whatever that day may be. But you have to have a day to regroup. And it may not be Sunday. I guess that's the natural day to think of.
But we all need that time.
We need that time.
Always great to have you on the show.
Great to be in person.
I know,
Yay!
it's so nice. And you've got the pre-warning.
Yeah, it's St. Patty's Day. I'm celebrating early.
Yes, I love it. All right, connectwithcook.com for more information. She's got a great website. Also, be sure to follow her on Facebook. Lots of fun videos. Help us all be our best. We're going to take a break. We're back with more of Daytime right after this.